Hello and welcome to Argo News. I'm Nigel Lambie.
And I'm Taja Ng.
A woman takes 73 cents for every dollar a man earns. It's a commonly cited statistic, but there's more to gender equality than just statistics. Our Argo News reporter, NC Net and I, has more.
Chocolate, flowers, and Cupid's arrows. This Valentine's Day, the Feminist Society of Pensacola wants you to add one more thing to your list.
I think people should care about the vagina monologues because we're making progress for women, but at the same time, I think that it's such a great perspective for people that don't know, that aren't educated. If they come and watch the monologues, I think they'll surprise themselves. They're going to laugh, they're going to cry, they're going to relate to women and relate to vaginas, and they're not going to feel as awkward about it as maybe they previously thought they would. The leading cause of violence against women is ignorance, traditions. Since, the beginning of time, violence against women was considered acceptable, and as feminism evolves and as equality evolves in the world, I think that, people are becoming more educated, but definitely traditions and ignorance and not teaching people that it's not okay is the biggest cause. I think that men play a huge role in gender equality achievement simply because they're one of our biggest challenges. Not all men, of course, because there are a lot of men out there that do recognize feminism as a good thing, that recognize equality as a good thing, that want to help with the movement, but there's also a lot of men, as I talked about, in other societies that are raised on traditions of treating women differently. Whether you're a woman or not, you can be a feminist, you can be pro-vagina, you can be, educated and open.
The Vagina Monologues is a way to help end the violence against women. And that's the heart of feminism, equality for all people, no matter what their gender. I'm NC Net tonight, reporting for Argo News.
Organizations across the state of Florida are gathering to serve others in any way they can.
No matter where you are in the world, there are always ways for you to help out your community.
ESA is a co-ed service-based fraternity on campus. So what we do is a lot of volunteer events such as like Barktoberfest, where we go and, see all the dogs dressed up in costumes. We do places like Ronald McDonald House where we'll cook or serve meals and that kind of stuff, as well as being an organization on campus where people can come and, meet other people and find kind of like a place to fit in. And so this weekend we got together with Florida State University and University of Florida at Florida State's campus. And we made crafts to give to the children at St. Jude's Research Hospital, which is the hospital for cancer patients where they don't pay anything. So they're funded by a lot of donations and that kind of stuff. So we were trying to make something just to be able to send to them to show our support, to show ESA support for them. So we had people making masks for the children to play with, or hang up cards, or we did a banner with all of our handprints, which was really cool because we got to do it in our school colors so they could see, support from all three of our organizations. ESA, to me, is definitely something that, the obvious, it does look good on a resume or an application or whatever to say you were a part of something like that, but I think it goes so much more in depth than just an application. You get to make connections, stereotypical, but that would honestly last a lifetime, and meet people you never thought you'd be friends with, and you get to go out in the community and actually do hands-on work and see what you're getting back out of it. And I think that goes so much more than anything you can put on a piece of paper or even just talk about, is to get the reward out of it that you're putting into it.
ESA is just one of the few ways that you can get involved. For more information, visit www.epsilonsigmaalpha.org. I'm Karina DiGregorio for Argo News.
Music education as well as music therapy is not easy or to find. Argo News reporter Allie Hartzone interviews one UWF alum who is looking to change that.
Buying local supports the small business entrepreneur, but here at Blues Angels Music, it also supports to keep music in the lives who need it most.
Well, what we do is we look for opportunities in the area to make donations to promote music education and music therapy for people from early life all the way through senior citizenship. Pretty well anyone who who either has an interest in learning music but not the means, or people who may benefit from music therapy. Like it's good for post-traumatic stress disorder, or it's also been really helpful for people with developmental disabilities and that sort of thing, to kind of connect the brain and make things work better. We want people to be, we want kids to be better prepared to go into school and to learn music. We want adults to find a happy place, if you will, through music, just to help people find music and hopefully find themselves a little bit better. Yeah, they can come in and make a donation. They can mail in a check. We have a PayPal link on our website. There's lots of ways people can get involved. And what we do is the foundation is completely transparent in that all of the money that comes in goes back out into the community. The portion of my salary that's covered for the foundation is covered by Blues Angel Music, not the foundation. So no administrative fees or anything come out of donations that come into the foundation.
I'm Allie Hartung reporting for Argo News.
A local comedy troupe is causing downtown Pensacola to be filled with laughter. Reporter Ian Frost has more on the story.
Did you know with just a few simple questions, this comedy troupe could improve your whole day?
Improv is basically making things up as you go along. That's the simple answer. Of course, there's a lot more that we put into it as far as preparation, and there's certain rules that we want to try and follow so we're successful at improv. But improv is basically performing without a script, within the confines of a structure that you set up, the improv rules, and going from there. To go see someone perform either dramatically or in a comedic way, but not have a script, it's sort of that we have this tendency to want to see train wrecks. I mean, it's human nature, and we're intrigued by that. There's nothing else in Pensacola like improv, like Improbable Cause. Like you said earlier, it's a lot of audience participation, so you're not just passively watching something, you're part of the show. We can't do the show without the audience, so I think that's very unique in Pensacola, and people seem to really like it. It sounds cliche-ish, but when you can do something on stage and make an audience laugh, and sometimes not even know how you did it. It just it happens. It's one of the best feelings in the world.
If you'd like to see Improbable Cause, you can check them out Saturday, February 28th at 8 p.m. at the Rex Theater. I'm Ian Frost reporting for Argo News.
Tattoos have always been a source of controversy. Argo News reporter Jenny Bailey finds out why.
Ever wonder why there's so much ado about tattoos?
All types of people come in here. A lot of nurses. We have our lawyers. People that you just see out in society that you would not expect to have tattoos. A lot of ones that have to be very professional on a daily basis. People tend to think of us as criminals. We try to educate people when it comes to stuff like that. Nowadays it's more of an art form, and a lot of the older generations are, noticing that when they see good art on family members or friends, and then they start flirting with the idea, and then they'll come in and it'll definitely, turn their whole perspective around. Someone might regret a tattoo given the time, place, or even if they're in a relationship and they think they love somebody or whatever. I mean, feelings are always changing. Everybody changes every year. Definitely sit and take time. Think about it. Take a picture that you're interested in, put it on your wall for a certain period of time. And if you like that after a couple months, then okay, Definitely don't do it on a whim because your friend's getting it and you think, you want to fit in with them and be cool about it and maybe have a story with them and something that you're going to definitely regret down the road. Me personally, all the tattoos I have a little bit of meaning, but it's just stuff that I like, stuff that interests me. Just everybody's different. You just never know who's going to walk through the door and what they're actually looking for, which just truly means the world to them.
Tattoos, a form of rebellion or a simple act of expression. I'm Jenna Bailey reporting for Argo News.
The Art Gallery is holding its annual tagged exhibition. giving artistic channels for students from all departments of academia.
In an ongoing effort to instill the importance of artistic merit, the Art Gallery has opened not only its doors, but its walls to the aspiring artists of UWF.
The tagged Student Art and Design exhibition is an annual exhibition that allows students the opportunity to compete in a juried professional exhibition. It's open to all UWF students, regardless of major, and typically there's an award ceremony and prizes that helps to entice them to enter and submit their work and display it for the public. What I'm always really excited to see in these exhibitions is really just the excellence that our students are achieving in the studio. Anything from ceramics, drawing, painting, all the way up through the new media, digital, projection, even sometimes performance pieces. The difficulty in hosting a juried competition is always trying to get students involved, make them feel comfortable, because they're really putting their hearts out there. This is their passion. They've put all this time in the studio, and sometimes they can be hesitant to want to put that on display for the public to see. So one of the difficult things, one of the things I'm always constantly reevaluating is how to make them feel confident and comfortable in the process of being part of a juried competition. The students that submit from English or the sciences, they always have a slightly different take on the creative pursuits, and that's usually very refreshing to see. It's always nice to see creativity in other disciplines, and how is that communicated, really.
The tagged exhibition will be open to the public from February 25th to March 12th at the Art Gallery in Building 82. I'm Robert Brown, reporting for Argo News.
The university uses resident assistants to help students with the day-to-day activities here on campus.
RAs are unsung heroes. They help students with the transition from freshman to senior year here at UWF.
You're kind of put into an apartment style living, so it's not as though we're talking to them every day, but we do talk to them by inviting them to special programs that relate to things that they want to do. Like last week we had a study abroad program, so we kind of advertised for that, and then we had people come down from their apartments and we would talk to them about studying abroad. So every week we have some sort of program. Another way is just through email or knock and talk. So what we'll do is just go room by room, ask how they're doing, typically give them like a treat of some sort, like cookies, something they'll like, just to make sure that they know that we're here for them. So I think being an RA really brought me closer to not only our campus, but people on campus that I normally would not be friends with or even know. And it's very rewarding to help my peers go through college, because I know how important it is and how I struggled going through. And so it's really rewarding that I get to do this for my community. I would say don't worry about making mistakes, because my first year I was too terrified, because you have to follow all these directions, otherwise the school might get in trouble because you do something wrong. It's a very difficult job if you think about it, because you have privacy concerns, you have parents, you have just regular laws that you have to follow, and you have to follow them very strictly. And I sometimes didn't really know what to do in certain situations, more serious situations, and so I would ask for help instead of just trying it. But I think sometimes you know more than you think, so I wish I would have taken more control of the situation rather than relied on my coworkers to kind of figure it out for me.
To find out more about being an RA, go to the UWF Housing website. I am Ben White, reporting for Argo News.
With recent changes happening around campus, students are making sure their voices are heard on campus.
Do you have concerns that need sharing, or want more information that concerns the university and its students? It might be time to take it up with your student government.
We all want the same common goal, which is to make the school better, make a change, make a difference. So pretty much I oversee the student outreach committee. I do a lot of surveying, a lot of polling. This year we did a printing survey because WEPA was not funded this year, so we were trying to get students input about, how the printing has affected them not having the WEPA pages. Also trying to take that information and try to convince higher up administrators to allow students to submit their work online. That's one poll we've done. One thing we do that maybe students or the university doesn't know is that we do a campus safety walk. We do one in the fall, we do one in the spring. We go around campus and we go with facilities and Dr. Bailey, and we drive around on campus, try to look for like dark spots on campus, maybe where some blue lights should be installed. And that's something that we have like a say, like we say like if that area is dark, it needs more lighting. Come to us anytime. We're located in the Commons upstairs in the SGA office. If I know the information, I'll tell them right then and there, but if I don't know, I'll tell them, give me your email, I'll get back to you. We want to make sure like we convey that message, like we are students. We're just students trying to help other students.
If you want more information on SGA or want to connect with them, you can visit them on their local website, which is uwf.edu/offices/Student Government Association. I'm Natasha Geronimi, reporting for Argo News.
The University of West Florida has plans to make this campus known for its diverse population and unique events that will help implement this formulaic strategy. Nigel Lambie has more on the story.
The University of West Florida is widely known as a predominantly Caucasian institution. However, the staff has made efforts to incorporate a position that changes that mentality, and that is the Diversity and Inclusion Coordinator.
The person who had this position before, she did an amazing job. Her name was Erica Wallace, and some of the things and initiatives that she started was the UWF Men and UWF Pearl, and that's something that I hold near and dear to my heart because I want to see those programs be successful. My new boss, who is Dr. Doug Thompson, Doug Thomas, and we were trying to think about some different ideas and different events that we could come up with, and we was thinking about doing a diversity inclusion type of award ceremony for the students who do great things and who are great leaders. So just to have the freedom to be able to do that, you know, if need be, I can somewhat talk to a particular colleague at another university or even here on campus, and we can brainstorm and come up with a lot of great events that will definitely be successful. So to be able to have that freedom and that flexibility and to have a staff and support team that understands that just makes it that much more better. We do have a lot of great things that we are planning. I've always been involved with UWF Men. I facilitated a lot of the man caves, which are an opportunity for, it's a place where young men on this campus have a chance to kind of come, unwind, talk about a lot of things that they might have on their mind, and kind of just go from there.
Johnny Dennis is clearly focused and plans to skew the mindsets of individuals who believe that the University of West Florida isn't diverse. As soon as events such as the UWF Men Cave and Block Party are implemented, many will realize that the University of West Florida is a campus of various ethnicities. I'm Nigel Lambie, reporting for Argo News. If getting involved in the community is your thing, then Argo News reporter Robin Medeiros has more on the story.
Do you want to do something different on spring break? I go behind the scenes to take a look how you can get involved.
My job as the graduate assistant for service and citizenship is to organize and oversee trips and such as the fall service retreat, and as of lately we've done the Martin Luther King National Day of Service. So we have 2 trips. One's going down to Boca Raton, in which we will be working with Habitat for Humanity, and for 3 days we'll be building and learning about the community with Habitat for Humanity, as well as maybe participating in some nonprofit food shelters to get a closer connection to the homeless down in Boca Raton, because it's a very big population down there. And in Asheville, we're going to be doing environmental things. One nonprofit is we're going to be working with some dogs and taking them on walks and just working in the general area for the environment. So you go to uwf.edu/ASB. It'll show all the information as to where we're going and the requirements for each to participate in the event. March 13th to the 17th, each trip is leaving on the same day. Normally they kind of scatter throughout spring break, but we'll be leaving for Asheville and Boca March 13th, and we'll be coming back from both locations on March 17th.
To learn more about the alternative spring break, check out the Service and Citizenship page on the UWF website. I'm Robin Medeiros, reporting for Argo News.
Yoga practice can provide many benefits to the everyday person. Blake Baylor explains how this practice will leave you wanting more.
If you have a yoga practice and are looking to find something deeper,
An instructor at this local yoga studio may have the answer.
So this non-teacher training will be a chance to learn more, go deeper into the practice, really connect not only with your practice, but with your body, and also with your yoga community at large. My teacher training was pivotal in my life. It was a great experience. And so I wanted to offer this option for others, that option to deepen the practice, to really connect. One of the greatest things that I learned or I got out of my teacher training was connecting with my other fellow trainees. And so I wanted to be able to bring that and just offering that to the community. And from the response that I've been getting, it's something that has been desired. We start with first weekend of March. It'll be a Friday night, Saturday and Sunday, the entire day. And then we'll do one weekend in April and one week in May, concluding in a fire ceremony. We'll be doing the training here at URU Yoga and Beyond, the one on Tippin. And it'll be various places throughout the studio, just kind of fitting in where we can.
You can find more information about the non-teacher yoga training at URU's website and their Facebook page. I'm Blake Baylor, reporting for Argo News.
Folks from all over the world are flocking to the Panhandle area to work, on their bodies that is. Here's Tony Reed with more on the story.
Many of the nation's most elite athletes are coming to Gulf Breeze in hopes of leaving faster, stronger, and healthier.
It's a company that was founded in 1999 by Mark Verstegen, and he started the company to be like a refuge for athletes. So he wanted a place for athletes to be able to come to train, just focus on that, kind of just take their mind off of whatever else and focus on training. So what happens is when a client gets here, we do an assessment with them on their first day. So they get a what we call a functional movement screen. So it's a screen of kind of their movement patterns. They also get a physical therapy evaluation. So just kind of seeing, where they are from an injury standpoint, if they have any injuries. And then they also get a nutrition evaluation. So we kind of get a big picture of who they are and what they're looking to do, and from there we individualize their training, nutrition, and physical therapy. Kind of go into our expertise and find out what's the best route for them, and from there we build them what we call a nutrition game plan, and it's just a means for us to give them a guide on how to get to their body composition goals or their performance goals, but really they're the ones that play a role in that, in making the choices. So we treat them as like this is a service to them, we're there for them, whatever they need. So it's really just a getaway for them, and I feel like that's kind of what sets us aside from other places.
Exos is located at the Andrews Institute in Gulf Breeze, Florida. I'm Tony Reed reporting for Argo News.
For upcoming graduates, the shift from student to employee often hinges upon how well they perform at their job interviews. Greg Hartson has more on the story.
Afraid of job interviews? Worried that your nerves might get the best of you? Well, fear not. Folks here at Career Services have the solutions to your problems.
There's a couple different ways that students can set up appointments with our office. They can call the front desk at 850-474-2254, and they can set up a face-to-face interview that way. They can also email our office. And the third way is that they can just come by Building 19, which is located by the Commons, to set up an appointment. And we offer face-to-face interviews that are one-on-one with a career coach and a student. We offer Skype interviews, so students can certainly interact with us online. We offer the same types of feedback opportunities there. We also have a product called Interview Stream that we launched about a year and a half ago, where students can take interviews online. I think that UWF offers a great opportunity for all students to engage in mock interviews. Even if a student is thinking about graduate school, they're going to have a job interview later on in the future, and they might even have an interview for graduate school. And of course, if a student's thinking of launching into the job search right after they graduate, mock interviews are the perfect way to get started. So I definitely think that all students should take advantage of a mock interview, and maybe even attend a few mock interviews. We can ask progressively more challenging questions, and we can offer them in different ways so that students can really ready themselves and get some boots to the ground training for when they go into the job search and into the real world.
Be sure to head on down to the Career Services Building to hone your interview skills and take that first step into the real world with great confidence. I'm Greg Hartung, reporting for Argo News.
Be sure to tune in next week for Argo News. I'm Taja Ng.
And I'm Nigel Lambie.
And thank you for joining us.